Mito is sorting fish when other people start talking about Gon, her 12-year-old nephew. Gon is trying to catch the monstrous Master of the Swamp, a feat done 20 years ago by Mito's cousin and Gon's father, Jing. It is a seemingly impossible condition set by Mito, for she is reluctant to allow Gon to take the hunter exam. Gon catches the fish and brings it to the harbor, to the amazement of the townspeople and to the dismay of Mito. The night before Gon sets out, Mito tries to convince Gon not to pursue the exam and become like his father. Gon replies by saying he wants to know why his father prefers to be a hunter so much that he left his own son in other people's care. Mito says that it is dangerous, but Gon insists. The next morning, Mito and her grandmother bid Gon goodbye. Upon boarding the ship, Gon bids goodbye to the inhabitants of Whale Island who flock the harbor to see him off. After he shouts that he will be the best hunter, Gon is mocked by the ship passengers, who are also going to the hunter exam site. He observes the applicants on board, then he notices and helps Katsuo, a crew member being bullied by his mates. The captain of the ship goes out of the cabin and orders Katsuo to hurry up with his chore. Gon then tells the captain that a storm is coming. When the captain asks how he knows, he says that the seabirds flying above them are warning each other of a huge storm. Gon confirms it by using his sense of smell. The captain is suddenly reminded of someone. While the storm rages, nearly every exam applicant on the ship is seasick except for Gon, Kurapika, and Leorio. The captain summons them and asks for their reasons for taking the hunter exam. Gon quickly answers that he wants to know why his father chose to be a hunter. Leorio and Kurapika refuse to reveal theirs. The captain promptly tells them that he is hired to trim down the number of hunter exam participants before they reach the exam site, thus he can pass or fail them depending on their response. Kurapika reveals that he wants to be a blacklist hunter to catch the phantom troop who annihilated his clan, the Korda. Leorio wonders why Kurapika has to take the exam merely for revenge, to which Kurapika replies that a licensed hunter has unprecedented access to information and places, as well as the freedom to actions that are otherwise forbidden. Leorio then states that he wants money and the comfort and luxury it brings, like huge fortune and free use of public amenities. Kurapika comments upon his statement, and Leorio is ticked by Kurapika not properly addressing him as Leorio-san several times already. He insults Kurapika's clan as disrespectful. This sparks animosity between the two, and they go out to the deck to duel. Meanwhile, the crew members try to stabilize the ship when Katsuo is tossed and is about to fall from the ship, to which Leorio and Kurapika witness in horror. Suddenly Gon jumps out of the ship to catch Katsuo, and the other two promptly catch Gon's legs. The next day, Katsuo thanks them, and Leorio and Kurapika also reconcile. The captain is impressed with them, and he promises to bring them to the port nearest to the exam site. Upon reaching Dal Harbor, the captain tells Gon that going to the cedar tree at the top of the hill behind the city will lead them to the exam site. Gon relays the information to Kurapika and Leorio, and they consult the map. They learn that the cedar tree is the opposite direction of Zaban City, the hunter exam site. Leorio says that there is a bus that directly goes to the city. Kurapika comments that the vague exam notice given to them is another test for the applicants. Gon chooses to go towards the direction of the tree. Kurapika follows suit after telling Leorio that he is curious about what Gon might do. Leorio bids goodbye as well and walks towards the bus stop when he overhears two senior applicants talking about the bus ride as merely a trap for new applicants. Leorio joins the other two and they reach a small deserted town. Leorio comments that there is nobody around there, but Gon plainly states that there are plenty of them. A group of masked people appear and block the way with a stage where an old woman sits. She tells them that they have to undergo the quiz in order to reach the cedar tree. She posts a riddle requiring them to choose between two possible answers and giving the answer within 5 seconds. The three are taken aback by the question, for it is something that has no correct answer. Unfortunately, refusing to partake in the quiz will disqualify them from taking the exam. A scheming participant who overheard the conversation between the captain and Gon has followed the three and goes ahead to answer. The masked people let him by as he continues up the road. The old woman then poses a similar question to the three, angering Leorio even more. It dawns on Kurapika that it is a trick question and is about to tell Leorio when the old woman forbids them from communicating with each other. When the time is up and no one has given an answer, Leorio angrily grabs a wooden stick to hit the woman, but is stopped by Kurapika. Kurapika tells Leorio to calm down, for he will waste the correct answer, which is silence. A door to a tunnel opens, and they are instructed to meet the navigators living in a house by the cedar tree. Upon reaching the cedar tree, they find the navigators, a couple being attacked by a shape-shifting creature, the Kuriko. While Leorio tends to the wounded man, Gon and Kurapika go after the Kuriko who kidnaps the woman. They are able to keep up with the Kuriko, and Gon hits it with his fishing rod. The Kuriko drops the woman and is saved by Kurapika, but he notices a tattoo on her arm, and he becomes wary of her real identity. Leorio comes, stating that he has given the wounded man painkillers. Kurapika then attacks him. This Leorio turns out to be another Kuriko in disguise and asks how Kurapika knew. Kurapika states that even if he was Leorio, he would have still hit him for leaving a wounded person alone. The Kuriko leaves and Kurapika asks the woman who she really is. Meanwhile, Gon loses sight of the Kuriko momentarily, then it appears and he follows it. He loses sight of it again, then the Kuriko jumps from a tree and corners Gon. Gon is about to be hit when he flatly says that the Kuriko is not the one he is pursuing. The Kuriko laughs hysterically and calls out its partner. The three applicants reunite and the couple reveals themselves to be the offspring of the two Kurikos. They pass the three due to their unique characteristics and fly them to the exam site. Gon, Leorio, and Kurapika arrive at Zaban City and Gon is fascinated by the bustling selling and trading businesses there. They stop where a high-rise building stands, the three thinking it's the exam site. The navigator leads them to a small restaurant beside it instead. The navigator orders something from the chef, who tells them to go to the back room. The order turns out to be the password to the back room, which is actually an elevator that goes 100 floors underground to the tunnel where applicants wait. The navigator praises and wishes them luck. He tells them that he will be willing to guide them again for the next hunter exam. Gon thanks him. The navigator is taken aback and is pleased. While the elevator descends, Kurapika deduces that the navigator expected them to fail the exam, since a rookie passing it is rare indeed. Gon guesses that the hunter exam is a risk worth taking, to which Leorio and Kurapika reply with a list of great advantages of being a hunter. They even argue about their opinions and ideologies about being a hunter and ask Gon what type of hunter does he want to become. When they reach the tunnel, they are given identification numbers by Beans. Later, they are befriended by Tampa, also known as the Rookie Crusher. He tells them about the other applicants. The most notable is Hisoka, who nearly killed an examiner from last year's examination. An applicant bumps into Hisoka without apologizing, and Hisoka does something that makes the applicant's arms disappear. Tampa then offers the three juice with laxatives. Gon and Leorio quickly detect that there is something wrong with the juice, saying that they might be expired already. Kurapika promptly pours the juice out of his can. Tampa hastily leaves them after apologizing and remembers the other applicants who have not taken his bait like Hanzo and Nicholas. Another rookie applicant, Killua, approaches Tampa and asks for another can of juice. He drinks it, then tells Tampa that poison from the juice does not affect him. Saditz, the first examiner, introduces himself and tells the participants to follow him through the tunnel as part of the first exam phase. The applicants have run continuously for 2 hours, a distance of over 30 kilometers from where they came from. Leorio starts to get exhausted, and he becomes irritated when he sees an applicant using his skateboard. He sees it as a mockery of the hunter exam, but Gon defends the applicant, saying that the examiner just told them to follow him, without forbidding them to use whatever means. The applicant takes an interest in Gon and asks for Gon's age. Upon learning that they are of the same age, he jumps from and catches the skateboard with a maneuver, starts running alongside Gon, and introduces himself as Killua. Meanwhile, exhaustion and frustration begins to take its toll on Nicholas, a plump and geeky applicant. He initially thought they were near the exit, but his calculations seemed to have been wrong. The Amori brothers taunt him even more and leave Nicholas slowly losing his mind from the emotional abuse and exhaustion. Tampa approaches and pays them for what they did to Nicholas. Leorio, completely exhausted and covered in sweat, was on the verge of surrendering, and the rarity of rookies passing the exam was all the more affecting his enthusiasm. The urge to give up was approaching him until he looked at Gon, who had decided to wait till Leorio wills to move forward. Killua is waiting for Gon and tells him to forget Leorio and just continue, but Gon does not even move an inch, to Killua's incredulity. Leorio gains the motivation to catch up with the rest of the applicants and starts running even ahead of Gon and Killua. Gon then happily fishes for the briefcase Leorio dropped behind. Saditz starts increasing his pace when they reach 80 kilometers, marked by a long, wide staircase. Leorio now catches up with Kurapika, who asks him if he is alright. Leorio tells him that he can keep up if he does not mind how stupid he looks, for he has taken off his suit to make himself more comfortable. Kurapika follows his example by taking off his blue outer garment. Kurapika then asks Leorio if he really is after money, because he doesn't see Leorio as such a shallow person. Eliciting no answer, Kurapika shares to Leorio about the scarlet eyes of the Kurta clan as the reason for his clan's demise. Claimed as possessing one of the 7 most beautiful colors in the world and prized by people as rare, wealthy people, as well as thieves like the Phantom Troop, want to get their hands on the remaining pairs. Kurapika plans to become a blacklist hunter and be hired by wealthy families to get access to the black market, be able to collect his clan's eyes, and also avenge them from the Phantom Troop. Leorio comments that Kurapika would have to swallow his pride, to which Kurapika replies that his pride is nothing compared to the anguish his clan experienced. Kurapika prods Leorio about his reason to be a hunter, but he says that he really is after the money. Kurapika does not believe him, and Leorio snaps that money can buy everything, even people's lives. Kurapika thinks he is insulting the Kurta clan again and threatens Leorio. Leorio snaps back that his friend would not have died if he had money, then becomes embarrassed by the revelation and turns away. Kurapika deduces that Leorio's friend died from an illness. Leorio says that it was treatable if they had the money for the operation. He wants to be a doctor to treat poor children for free, but realizes that he has to gain much more money to be able to study. Kurapika smiles upon hearing Leorio's real reason for taking the exam as Gon and Killua catch up to them. Killua calls out to Leorio to let them know they're going ahead, but addresses him as an old man. Leorio angrily replies that he's not old and that he's a teenager, surprising them all. Gon and Killua also share their reasons for taking the hunter exam. Killua joined for fun, thinking that the exam is challenging enough. Gon wants to be a hunter like his father. When Killua asks what type of hunter his dad is, Gon cannot tell. Killua finds it weird and Gon explains that he is raised by his Aunt Mito, thus he does not know much about his father. Gon says he wants to know why his father chose to be a hunter over raising his son. They agree to have a race to the exit and the one to win will pay for dinner. They arrive at the exit also and Gon and Killua race ahead of Saditz. They bicker about who arrives first and ask Saditz to judge for them. Saditz answers that they both arrived at the same time. Gon proposes that since he and Killua won, they will treat each other to dinner. Other applicants come and Saditz introduce them to the location as the Milsey Wetlands, also known as the Swindler Swamp. He had just warned them about the creature's creative means to fool their victims when a man shows up and drags with him an unconscious ape with a face like Saditz. He claims to be the examiner and accuses Saditz of being a masquerading man-faced ape. The applicants become confused, especially Leorio and Hanzo, a ninja. Hisoka then attacks the 2 examiners by throwing his blade-sharp cards. The man with the ape is killed and is eaten by scavenger birds. However, Saditz catches the cards with his bare hands, proving himself to be the real examiner and warns Hisoka not to attack him again lest he wants to be disqualified. He then tells the applicants to follow him into the swamp.